Unveiling the new look of Guinness. Discover a colorful world of more.
Welcome back. Let's see what's happening in the world of sports. Here's Ayotunde Balogun.
Certainly, we head off to the camp in Atlanta where the Super Eagles are having a huge time. Well, it was a beehive of activity as the team had their first training session this morning as they prepare to face Mexico in an international friendly. Now, there are indications that uncapped defender Leon Balogun, who plies his trade with Bundesliga outfit Fortuna Düsseldorf, has been lined up to replace the injured captain Joseph Yobo in the Super Eagles defense. Coach Stephen Keshi says he's happy with the form of his players, and while insisting that he wants to see what the new invitees can offer the team. Now the side will have a full house training session on Tuesday at the Georgia Dome, while the match will be played by 8 p.m. local time, which is 2 a.m. in Nigeria. FIFA President Sepp Blatter says problems presently being experienced with Brazil's World Cup venues are under control, with just 100 days to the global soccer fiesta. With the days running out, Brazil is racing against time to complete stadiums, airports, communications and infrastructure, as well as transportation systems as the June the 12th opening day approaches. At the Sao Paulo Stadium, the host the opening game isn't due to be ready until May, while other stadiums in Curitiba and Manaus remain unfinished. England continued their preparation for their international friendly against Denmark on Wednesday at the Tottenham Hotspur's training ground. One player who will hope to get a chance to impress coach Roy Hodgson and earn a seat on the plane to Brazil is the 20-year-old Arsenal midfielder Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who hasn't played for the national side since August after suffering a knee injury. Southampton skipper Adam Lallana is one of 4 players in the South Coast club in the squad, including the 18-year-old left-back Luke Shaw, who he feels will be helped by familiar faces around him. Wearing a protective mask to shield his broken nose, Miami player LeBron James has scored a career-high 61 points in the Heat's 124-107 points victory over the Charlotte Bobcats. James, who sustained the injury late last month, drained 22 of his 33 shots. Now, the 4-time MVP scored 24 points at halftime and poured in another 25 in the third quarter alone, while making his first 8 three-pointers. Now, the outburst surpassed his previous career high of 56 points, which was set back in 2005 when he played for the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's it in the sports news. The news at 10 continues shortly.
Unveiling the new look of Guinness. Discover a colorful world of more.
To the foreign scene now. Deviating from an earlier opinion that Russian troops have not yet intervened in the Ukraine crisis, the country's military has this evening test-fired an intercontinental ballistic missile. The Russian Defense Ministry said the aim of launching the Topol RS-12M missile was to test a promising intercontinental ballistic missile payload and that it reached its target successfully. The missile was launched from Russia's Kapustin Yar test range near the Caspian Sea to the Sari-Shagan range in Kazakhstan. The United States said it was notified of the launch before it took place, as required by treaties. Tests of the missile, one of Russia's newest, are not unusual, but the timing of the launch is thought to further increase tensions over Ukraine. President Putin has emphasized that he intends to protect Russian interests in the Ukraine.
Russia is standing firm over its military actions in Ukraine despite stern rebukes and threats of sanctions from some countries. Russian Ambassador Vitaly Churkin told an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council that his country's aims were preserving democracy, protecting millions of Russians in Ukraine, and stopping radical extremists. It's completely legitimate under Russian law, given the extraordinary situation in Ukraine. This threat and the threat to our compatriots, Russia's citizens and the Black Sea Fleet. We're talking about defending our citizens and our compatriots, defending the most important human right, the right to life. But Ukraine's ambassador to the UN, Yuri Sergeyev, accused Russia of violating international laws.
Russia, inter alia, obliged to refrain from the threat or use of force against the territorial integrity or political independence of Ukraine. In this regard, I want to underline that by this aggression, the Russian Federation is undermining the NPT regime generally.
Some countries refused to accept the justification, asked Russia to withdraw its troops, and called for mediation to end the crisis.
So many of the assertions made this afternoon by the Russian Federation are without basis in reality. As I said in our last session, Russia's actions speak much louder than its words.
British Foreign Secretary William Hague called the Ukrainian situation Europe's most serious crisis in the 21st century. Meanwhile, Crimean capital Simferopol is quiet, and residents say they are comfortable with Russian troops on their territory but look forward to less conflict.
And the main news again. Although he died about 30 years ago, the dream of the late sage Obafemi Awolowo is still alive. Some of the ideologies of the late nationalist, especially on federalism, have become the focus of political debate. Speakers at a posthumous birthday event today asked for true federalism, as proposed by the former politician and former premier of the Western region. The lead speaker, Professor Pius Adesomi, believes that Chief Awolowo's roadmap should be urgently considered ahead of the proposed national conference in order to fix the anomalies created by the Constitution. And also today, the President announced the sack of FAN Managing Director George Riesi and 4 other heads of parastatals in the aviation sector. And that brings us to the end of the news at 10 tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Do join us again tomorrow. I'm Bimbo Loede. Bye for now.